Hello and welcome to the Machona podcast. This week we are talking about forgiveness in relationships. Now, forgiveness in a relationship is an important part of successfully navigating conflict and hurtful feelings that can arise in any relationship. While it is natural to feel hurt, betrayed, or angry when a partner has wronged you, it is important to remember that forgiveness can be a powerful tool for maintaining a healthy and secure relationship. Now, forgiveness is an act of letting go of negative emotions such as anger, resentment, or hatred, and replacing them with kindness, compassion, and understanding. It is a choice to release the desire for revenge or retribution and to focus instead on restoring the relationship. It is not easy, but can be a powerful way to heal and move forward. In most cases, when somebody has done something wrong to me, my immediate feeling is to avenge myself or to get them back. And then I would be thinking of, what bad things I can do to them as well, so that they feel how I felt, how hurt I felt at least. Now, the problem with this is that when I do that, my partner will also start thinking of doing the same thing to me as well. And so this kind of ruins the equilibrium of the relationship, because now I am thinking bad things about my person and they are also thinking bad things about me, and we end up spending time wanting to hurt each other instead of moving forward. And also the other thing is, if you do not forgive someone, you will be upset. Whenever you see them, you feel a certain level of hurt or a certain level of anger or resentment. Now, that is not good for you, because they would have moved on already, thinking that you have forgiven them, but when you see them, your heart is not in the right place, and that continues to eat you up, and you end up doing things that you may regret moving forward. So in most cases, forgiveness is actually good for you personally, in as much as it may be good for the other person as well. So when a partner has wronged you, it is difficult to find the strength to forgive them, and but it is important to be honest with yourself about how you are feeling and why. Acknowledge your emotions and be willing to talk through them with your partner. If you are feeling overwhelmed with anger or hurt, it may help you to take some time away from the situation to process your feelings. And then once you have taken time to reflect on your emotions, you can then begin to think about how you can forgive your partner. But what is important here is, even if you take this time away from your partner, moving forward, you can't just say, okay, I'll move forward, and then you still keep whatever it is that hurts you at the back of your mind. This does not work, because forgiveness means you overlook the wrong that they have done and you decide to wipe the slate clean so that you can start afresh. If you still have the things that they did at the back of your mind, then you have not really forgiven them, because you still are hurt when you think about those things. So if you decide to forgive, start clean, start afresh, and not keep bringing things up. Whenever you have an argument, maybe you bring things up that they did, or whenever you look at them, you start thinking of, like it brings you back to the wrongs that they did to you. That is not a healthy relationship, because you end up resenting your partner, and then the relationship won't go anywhere. You're just wasting your time, basically. So when forgiving your partner for their mistake, it is important to be honest and open. Remember, forgiveness does not mean that you are excusing or forgetting the wrong that was done. It means you are willing to move past it. Wipe the slate clean, move past it, and to accept the apology that they have given if they have done so. If the wrong is serious, it may be helpful to set boundaries for the future and to discuss how you will both work to prevent the similar issues from arising in the future. When practicing forgiveness, it is important to be mindful of how you are communicating your feelings to your partner. Make it clear how you're feeling, and make it direct as well, while still being respectful and understanding. Speak from your heart and avoid blaming or shaming your partner. When you start to blame your partner or shaming them, it will create a sense of, like, the defensive mechanism in them will awaken, and they will start feeling like they want to defend themselves, and you end up just going around in circles arguing about things instead of solving them. So it is also important to remember that it is ultimately up to you to decide how and when to forgive. It is okay to take your time, but also consider the relationship and also the other person as well. So it is important to remember that forgiveness is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process that requires patience, understanding, and commitment from both partners. It takes time for trust to be rebuilt and for the hurt to heal. It is important to be patient with yourself and with your partner as you both work to rebuild this relationship. So forgiveness can be a difficult and painful journey, but it is one that is worth taking. By practicing forgiveness in a relationship, you can open the door to understanding, growth, and healing. We learn through mistakes in most cases, and when a mistake has been made, it is important to try and look at it as a learning opportunity. You learn together and you forgive each other and decide to move on from there as people who have understood what has happened and have decided to take lessons from it and move forward with that knowledge so that it does not happen again. So the healing is important in any part of a healthy relationship and can be a powerful tool for restoring and strengthening the relationship and the bonding as well. If you do not fight as a couple, then it becomes a problem because life is not smooth sailing. Life has ups and downs, so you would expect some sort of squabbles here and there, but how you move past them is what is important. Work on forgiving each other if mistakes have been made, and like I said earlier, if it's a very big one, then you take time to think about it. You ask for advice from people who've gone through such situations so that they can advise you either how they went through it or how to move forward with whether with the relationship or not. But in conclusion, really, I would say forgiveness in a relationship can be a difficult process, definitely, but it is essential for restoring trust and maintaining a strong, healthy bond. The forgiveness requires patience, understanding, and commitment from both partners. You can't just forgive by yourself and then without knowing what your partner is thinking about the situation as well, because they have to obviously show you that they have moved on from the mistake. They have to show you that they have changed at least, so that you can move on properly. And if you are still harboring hurtful feelings from your past relationship, you are angry at your ex, I would advise that you move on, because life has to continue after the relationship as well. In most cases, you find yourself, you are out of the relationship, but you are still angry with the person who has already moved on. The person is living their best life. You are angry with what they did to you, and it ruins your future. It ruins your experiencing of new relationships, because when you are angry at someone, you are not at peace. And if you are not at peace, then you are not free to be yourself even around other people. So forgive and move on. It is difficult, but it should be your priority to heal yourself so that when you go into the next relationship, you are going into the next relationship as a new person, and you give chance to the new person that you meet so that they can also show you who they are, instead of trying to learn how to handle who you have become. Try to make yourself easy to love, because when someone is going into a relationship with you, they should not come in with chains, trying to learn how to handle you. Nobody should learn how to handle another person. You and I should learn how to make ourselves easy to love, so that the person that we come into contact with finds it very healing to be with us. Actually, let's be each other's peace, and let's forget what hurt we have gone through and become new people. So this is what I had this week. I will see you again next week, but in the meantime, please do leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this topic, or what any additions that you might have, so that we can discuss and see what we can learn from each other. So that has been it from me. See you soon.